The goal of cultural design is simple, clear, and luminous. It is to generate higher yields of sustainable well-being for all of the cult or culture's members while consuming less energy. So increasing the yield of sustainable well-being and decreasing the amount of particularly unnecessary energy in the form of time, money, and natural resources. Now, given the fact that it takes just as much energy to pivot a culture from one form to another, whether or not the form is incredibly beneficial or marginally beneficial, you can think of it as changing a pair of clothes. So if I go to the trouble of unbuttoning this vest and putting this vest on a hanger and taking another vest, it takes exactly the same amount of energy in time, in effort, in thought, to put on an ugly frayed vest as it does to put on the nicest vest that exists, right? And so given that it takes a set amount, there's a threshold amount of time that it takes to change anything. And given our resistance, our fear of the unknown, our resistance to change, our overload, a key goal when doing cultural design is a 10x threshold. And that comes from adoption rates in new technologies in all sectors. In other words, if you try and get people to switch from PC to Apple protocols and software, and you tell them that it's 20% more efficient on Apple, nobody makes the change because it's such an enormous effort to have a different keyboard, different menu links, different mice. And so your whole body has to go through a reset to make the transition from Apple to Microsoft or Microsoft to Apple. And so it's just not worth it in most cases, from Android to Apple. And it's not worth it in most cases because neither is 10 times better than the next. So in order to have a rapidly and wholehearted adoption of the new technology, it has to be 10 times better than the old technology, right? And so since it takes no more time to take off a vest and put on an ugly vest, an okay vest, or the best vest in the world, the threshold is 10x. And the other, the other thing that it's important to realize is that we as a culture and we as individuals cannot address the entirety of culture, the entirety of our lives at one time. It's too much. It's too destabilizing, but also our minds, we lack the bandwidth. We lack the bandwidth for that much chaos and that much awareness, right? And so realistically, we're going to think about and we're going to iterate one area of culture at a time. And it makes sense to do that with 10x thinking, right? Make one thing 10x better and peripherally be aware of how it will get even better when other things come up to its level. There are lots of technologies that are underpotentiated, mean they don't reach their full potential until the people around them or the technologies around them get up to 10x. If you go from 240 pixels on a phone screen to 4K on a TV or a phone, but the video is still 240 pixels, meaning the screen goes up 10x, but the video quality does not, the graphic quality doesn't. It's a waste, right? And so you do one thing, you develop a 4K screen, for example, and it's wasted. And then you develop 4K videos that potentiate the screen, right? And so the same is true like education. To have a 10x education with people that lack the time and money to learn anything is a waste, right? But as you raise the education 10x, as you raise the time management 10x, as you raise the community architecture 10x that makes it easy for people to be intimate and to save time, right? As you sequentially go through each of the areas of 10x design, they realize the hidden potential that's in each module of a culture. So this is the essence of cultural design. This is its mission. These are the core mental architectures behind that goal, that mission, that can realize the full potential of our species on this planet and subsequently on other planets and star systems in the future.